Activision CEO Bobby Kotick knew for years about sexual misconduct allegations at video game giant. Top executive that informed board of some reports, including alleged rapes. Company faces multiple regulatory investigations. Bobby Kotick, the longtime chief executive of video game giant Activision Blizzard Inc., received a troubling email in July 2018. A lawyer for a former employee at Sledgehammer Games, an Activision-owned studios, alleged in the email that her client had been raped in 2016 and 17 by her male supervisor after she had been pressured to consume too much alcohol in the office and at work events. Dude, this is omega beta male behavior where you need to get a woman drunk to have your way with her. Oof. The female employee reported the incidents to Sledgehammer's Human Resources Department and other supervisors, but nothing happened, according to the email, which threatened a lawsuit against the company. Within months of receiving the email, said people familiar with the situation, Activision reached an out-of-court settlement with the woman, who also had reported one of the incidents to the police. Mr. Kotick didn't inform the company's board of directors about the alleged rapes or the settlement, said people with knowledge of the board. He just solved everything, like, under the table. Activision's been thrown into turmoil in recent months by multiple regulatory investigations into alleged sexual assaults and mistreatment of female employees dating back years. Mr. Kotick has told directors and other executives that he wasn't aware of many of the allegations of misconduct, and he has played down others, according to people familiar with the matter and internal documents. Of course he is. Of course he's going to do that. Those documents, which include memos, emails, and regulatory requests and interviews with former employees and other familiar with the company, however, cast Mr. Kotick's response in a different light. They showed that he knew about allegations of employee misconduct in many parts of the company. He didn't inform the board of directors about everything he knew. The interviews and documents show, even after regulators began investigating the incidents in 2018, some departing employees who were accused of misconduct were praised on the way out, while their co-workers were asked to remain silent on the matters. Praised on the way out. It's important to mention that this is Activision, at least the rape allegations, it's Sledgehammer. So that's not actually Blizzard, technically speaking. Obviously still disgusting, doesn't mean that, oh, it's not Blizzard, so it's fine. It's just important to... Mr. Kotick has been subpoenaed in Securities and Exchange Commission investigation into how the company handled reports of misconduct and disclosed them to the public. The Wall Street Journal reported in September that Mr. Kotick knew about the alleged incidents and what he told other employees. The board of directors and investors is part of that probe. In addition to California, the Department of Fair Employment and Housing filed a lawsuit in July alleging the company ignored numerous complaints by female employees of harassment, discrimination, and retaliation, citing what it is called frat boy culture. In response, Ms. Kotick drafted an email that had another executive sent to employees under her name that dismissed California's allegations as presenting a distorted and untrue picture of our company. Yeah, sure. The board of directors was blindsided by California's lawsuit of allegations, including that an Activision employee killed herself after a photo of her vagina allegedly was circulated at a company party. We already knew about this one. According to people familiar with the board, directors have questioned Mr. Kotick about what he knew and why they hadn't been better informed, these people said. He has told them any cultural issues were centered at the company's Blizzard Entertainment unit, which he had resolved years earlier. That's not true. The employee that committed suicide, that was an Activision thing. So he basically lied and he said, yeah, this is Blizzard, this is not Activision. In a recent interview, Mr. Kotick described himself as transparent with the board and said he provides directors with as much information as they require and is appropriate. I am very committed to making sure we have the most welcoming, most inclusive workplace in the industry, he said. Activision spokeswoman Helene Klasky said in a written statement that Mr. Kotick would not have been informed of every report of misconduct at every Activision Blizzard company, nor would he reasonably be expected to have been updated on all personnel issues. But earlier they said that he was aware of the negotiation of the rape victim. She said Activision sometimes fell short of ensuring that all of our employees' behaviors was consistent with our values and our expectations. Activision's board, in a statement sent by Ms. Klasky, said it has been informed at all times with respect to the status of regulatory matters, and that Mr. Kotick hadn't said the problems were only at Blizzard, one of the company's most successful studios. Santa Monica-based Activision is the second largest publicly traded video game company by market capitalization. It employs about 10,000 people, and its hit franchises include Call of Duty, Candy Crush, and World of Warcraft. Under Mr. Kotick's leadership, the company's market value has risen to about $54 billion from $14 billion a decade ago. Since the California lawsuit, Activision has received more than 500 reports from current and former employees alleging harassment, sexual assault, bullying, pay disparities, and other issues. According to people familiar with the matter, the Activision spokeswoman said the company is investigating the claims using teams from both inside and outside the company. The examples of alleged misconduct by Activision employees cited in this article haven't previously been reported. Mr. Kotick, 58 years old, is one of the highest paid chief executives of a U.S. publicly traded company with a pay package of in 2020 valued at $154 million. In October, after the Journal approached Activision with questions for this article, Mr. Kotick told employees he would ask the board to reduce his annual compensation to $62,500 and that the company was implementing a zero-tolerance harassment policy and ending mandatory arbitration for harassment discrimination claims. In August, Activision named a longtime employee, Jennifer O'Neill, to be Blizzard's co-head, making her the first woman to lead one of the company's business units. The following month, she sent an email to a member of Activision's legal team in which she professed a lack of faith in Activision's leadership to turn the culture around, saying it was clear that the company would never prioritize our people the right way. Ms. O'Neill said in the email that she had been sexually harassed earlier in her career at Activision and that she was paid less than her male counterpart at the helm of Blizzard and wanted to discuss her resignation. I have been tokenized, marginalized, and discriminated against, wrote Mrs. O'Neill, who is Asian American and gay. She described a party for an Activision development studio she attended with Mr. Kotick around 2007 in which scantily clad women danced on stripper poles. At the same party, a DJ encouraged female attendees to drink more so the men would have a better time. Ms. Klasky said Mr. Kotick didn't remember attending such a party. Of course he doesn't. He forgot about it. I mean, he's 58 years old. Dude suffering from dementia already. He clearly forgot about it. The company announced on November 2nd that Ms. O'Neill is leaving Blizzard at year's end. Ms. O'Neill said in an email statement that she made a decision that was best for her and her family. In the interview, Mr. Kotick disputed that Activision is unwelcoming to women and said the examples of misconduct identified by the Journal are exceptions that don't reflect the company overall. He said he is spending more time on workplace issues. If there are experiences people have in the workplace that make them uncomfortable, we're much more adept at being able to respond to those, he said. Mr. Kotick said that he and the board now expect to be kept better informed than in the past about workplace issues. Okay, so let me just say something right now, okay? Let me just say something right now. This right here is like, some people might be like, so there were strippers at a party. Who gives a fuck? No. And listen, you guys know me. I'm not like Mr. Virtue, right? I'm not someone who's going to be like fully sanitized, whatever. You guys know me, okay? But it's like this. If you're having a company party and women work at this company, having strippers is not the most adequate thing to do. Unless you know for a fact that all the women are gay. I guess that can kind of like be... No, even still, it's weird. It's fucking weird. It's just a weird thing. You know? What if we were both male and female? It's still fucking weird. It's still weird, okay? Listen, even if there's male strippers and female, it's weird. For starters, because it's a company thing, but even if it wasn't, okay? Let me explain something. Even if it wasn't, it's still fucking weird. It's fucking weird. No matter which way we paint this is fucking weird, okay? Now look, there are situations, obviously, where it's cool to go with a group of close friends and you all go to a stripper club. That's a completely different situation, right? I've been there once. I'm not going to tell you when that happened. You guys need to... I don't tend to go to strip clubs. Okay, I'm a married man. But I did go to a strip club once. But you guys don't need to know about that. There were extenuating circumstances. But anyways, point being, like, even like say I'm with friends, right? You know, like couples or something. We're not going to go to a fucking strip club, okay? Strip clubs is a very specific situation that you kind of go to a strip club. It's not like your default company party or even default hangout for a regular person and a group of friends. You don't just like go to a fucking strip club. Okay? That's not how it works. It's just weird. It's fucking weird, dude. Who the fuck thinks this is... It's so fucking weird. It's so incredibly weird. There's a time and a place where you go to strip clubs. A company party, unless like... I'm trying to come up, like, if your company is, you know, maybe if you do like porn flicks, that's something. But it's like a video game development studio in a stripper party. It's weird. It's fucking weird, dude. It's weird as fuck. It's weird as fuck. Especially if there's women in your company. It's incredibly weird and creepy. It's incredibly fucking weird. If it's just like a completely male-dominated company, it's just all males and there's no females, that's a different thing. You guys want to go to a stripper joint, whatever. You guys want to go on your own time, whatever. But for a company party, it's weird, dude. It's so fucking weird. Mr. Kotick's been a technology entrepreneur since he dropped out of the University of Michigan in the 1980s at the urging, he said, of Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs told him to drop college? He has counted the former casino magnate Steve Wynn as one of his mentors, together with a group of... That explains a lot! Holy shit! That explains a lot, Bobby! Together with a group of financial investors, he acquired Activision out of bankruptcy in 1991 for about 400,000 bones. He forged his reputation by acquiring successful development studios being behind popular gaming franchises. Mr. Kotick long allowed those studios to operate independently as possible, which he believed would foster development of hit games. Former employees at several studios said behaviors such as workplace drinking, comments about women's appearances, the sharing of explicit content, and staff-organized trips to strip clubs were common, and they didn't feel comfortable complaining to human resources. Reading through this article, it's very easy. It's like I'm analyzing my own thought process as it is happening, and I kid you not, the first thing that comes to mind is my brain going, see? It was Activision. Activision corrupted Blizzard. Blizzard was innocent and safe, and Blizzard did nothing wrong. It was all my brain is hardwired on Blizzard copium, dude. My brain instantly started thinking like that. It was going like, see, Blizzard was innocent all along. It was never their fault. It's like, no, I don't think that's the case. If I really keep thinking that process through, I'm like, No, brain. I don't think that's the case. You're just like hardwired to Blizzard copium. You just want another hit of that copium. I don't think that things are as black and white as that. This is so fucking... The Activision spokeswoman said human resources began reporting directly to the corporate office in 2019 and that the prior setup occasionally allowed some employees to conduct themselves in truly regrettable ways. So only in 2019 was when they started like, hey, maybe let's not rape people in the workplace. In 2019, they decided that, hey, maybe rape is just not acceptable, okay? Mr. Kotick approves high-profile hiring decisions and the exit and pay packages of star developers, and he is typically aware of any major problems in each of Activision's 12 development studios and 3 major business units, according to people familiar with his leadership. Ms. Klasky, the company's spokeswoman, said that although Mr. Kotick might express opinions on employment matters brought to his attention, he generally isn't involved in the hiring, compensation, or termination decisions for most employees. Dan Bunting, co-head of Activision's Treyarch studio, was accused by a female employee of sexually harassing her in 2017 after a night of drinking. Dude, it's always with the drinking with these fucks. It's always with the drinking. What's the matter? You can't have a conversation with the woman unless she's fucking wasted? God, that's fucking disgusting. Jesus Christ. Oh, yeah, gotta get her wasted. Why don't you fucking roofie her? Just fucking get a roofie while you're at it. Why not? I mean, if you're gonna get her drunk, fucking go all the way. Get a roofie. These fucking people, dude. These fucking people. Activision's Human Resources Department and other supervisors launched an internal investigation in 2019. This is when they decided that, hey, maybe we should look into this thing of, people raping people in the office. Maybe let's look into that. Recommended that he be fired, but Mr. Kotick intervened to keep him. These people said Mr. Bunting, who led Treyarch through the production of several successful Call of Duty games, was given counseling and allowed to remain at the company. Mr. Bunting didn't respond to requests for comment. The Activision spokeswoman said an outside investigation was conducted in 2020. After considering potential actions in light of that investigation, the company elected not to terminate Mr. Bunting, but instead to impose other disciplinary measures. Yeah, let's not fire the person who's sexually harassing people. Let's not fire him. Because, here's the thing. There's a difference if he didn't do it, if he's not sexually harassing somebody, then you don't need to take disciplinary measures. It's literally this fucking simple. Okay? If somebody's going to come in here and go like, well, that's alleged sexual assault. It's like, no. The man was given counseling. And after given counseling, he received disciplinary measures. That implies guilt. How about the person who sexually harasses other people at the office? How about we fucking get rid of him? You see that person that sexually harasses people at the office, which is implied on account of the fact that you've given him counseling, and you don't give him counseling. You fucking get rid of him. You just fucking get rid of him. And then he can go get fucking counseling somewhere else. I swear to fucking God, dude. These fucking people, dude. No, it's fine. Maybe he only grabbed their ass. Maybe like the President of the United States a couple of years ago, he grabbed them by the pussy. Mr. Bunting left the company after the Journal asked about the incident. Although Mr. Kotick didn't inform the board of the email accusing the Sledgehammer game supervisor of rape, Activision did take action. The accuser's lawyer, Harmeet Dillon, identified the supervisor as Javier Panamino, and said he had also sexually harassed the second woman at the studio. Yeah, because he didn't do anything at the first one. He thought it was okay. Listen, I'll tell you what. I don't even blame Javier over here. Sure, he's a fucking scumbag and a rapist, alleged rapist. This one, I don't know if there's, specific proof, but, considering the culture that this company, breeds of having like fucking company events at stripper joints, wouldn't surprise me if he had raped somebody or two people. Like was that? No, he had raped somebody twice and then was, just getting ready to rape the second one. He's like, hey, I raped somebody one time. It was fine. There weren't any consequences. Raped her again. Was fine too. No consequences there. Guess I'll go rape somebody else. There doesn't appear to be any consequences for my fucking actions. It's like, what the fuck? It's just... It's like, I don't know if it's my upbringing. I don't know what the deal is, but I just, I read this shit and I'm like, I don't think this is okay. Like, what the fuck? And Mr. Kotick over here is just going like, yeah, don't worry about it. It'll be fine. Yeah, we'll settle that off course. Don't worry about it. Now, don't go raping anybody else now. The employee who accused him of the assaults reported the second incident in 2017 to the police. No charges were brought. The Activision spokeswoman said the company immediately investigated the two assault reports after executives received the 2018 email and fired Mr. Panamino 2 months later. She said that following the two incidents, the employee said she was too intoxicated to remember what happened. Yeah, I wonder how she got that way. Huh. And that Mr. Panamino's recollection of the second encounter conflicted with the employee's report to the police. She said the female employee hadn't reported either incident to the company before she left in November 2017. Ms. Dillon's email, however, said the employee had told Sledgehammer Human Resources about both incidents. A colleague of the former employee said the same. Mr. Panamino didn't respond to our request for comment. I wonder why. A spokesman for his subsequent employer, online game developer Zynga. Oh, would you look at that? Said it launched an internal investigation after questions from the journal, and Mr. Panamino was subsequently resigned. Aww. The email said the accuser's lawyer sent Mr. Kotick... The email said the accuser's lawyer sent Mr. Kotick also... Accuser's lawyer sent Mr. Kotick also sent... Oh, the email the accuser... Okay, never mind. My brain. Also said another Sledgehammer employee, Edward Rurikhan, had been accused of sexual harassment. A female employee, Ashley Mark, said in an interview that she complained to Supervisor Human Resources in 2017 about harassment by Mr. Rurikhan, including at a company party at which there was heavy drinking. Seems to be a theme in Activision parties. The fucking heavy drinking. Mr. Rurikhan confirmed he was investigated for a harassment incident at an office party in 2017, said it wasn't clear what exactly did and did not happen since a lot of alcohol was involved. Yeah, we were wasted, so, maybe I fucked her, maybe I didn't. I don't remember. He added that it was stupid of me and totally uncalled for to get that drunk. He said he was given a 2-week paid leave and allowed to remain at Activision in a different position. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. In a human resources letter to him in 2017, which was shared by Mr. Rurikhan, Activision asked that he keep this matter confidential. Mr. Rurikhan, a German citizen, said he was let go in 2018 after he had an argument with his manager about his green card. The Activision spokeswoman confirmed that he was terminated for that reason. Excessive drinking has been associated with numerous complaints of alleged employee misconduct at Activision, according to former employees. Ms. Klasky said the company will soon ban alcohol in the office. Wait. You can still just drink on the job? The Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, which has been investigating Activision since 2018, said in a complaint made public in September that employees endured sexual harassment that was severe, pervasive, to alter the conditions of employment. Activision said it agreed to pay $18 million to settle the EEOC's case. The company said at the time it would take other steps to prevent and eliminate harassment. Yeah, you've been doing that for a while now. I wonder why. Just make sure that we don't get suddenly blasted by writing home. The California regulator that sued Activision in July has challenged the settlement, saying the proposed amount is too low and that the agreement is harmful to victims. In its case, the Activision spokeswoman noted that the EEOC has accused the lawyers of leading the California case of misconduct. The state agency has denied those allegations. Activision didn't make disclosures to investors about the more than 2-year-long EEOC probe into the lawsuit until the lawsuit became public this year and disclosed the SEC probe in September after questions from the Journal. A lawyer for Activision said most companies don't disclose EEOC investigations. Over the years, Mr. Kotick himself has been accused by several women of mistreatment, both inside and outside the workplace, and in some instances has worked to settle the complaints quickly and quietly. Kotick himself can't keep it in his pants, playing around with his willy. According to people familiar with the incidents and documents reviewed by the Journal. In 2006, one of his assistants complained that he had harassed her, including by threatening in a voicemail to have her killed. According to people familiar with the matter, he settled the matter out of court, the people said. Activision spokeswoman said Mr. Kotick quickly apologized 16 years ago for the obviously hyperbolic and inappropriate voicemail, and he deeply regrets the exaggeration in tone in his voicemail to this day. In 2007, he was sued by the flight attendant of a private jet he co-owned. Flight attendant claimed the plane's pilot had sexually harassed her, and after she complained to the other owner, Mr. Kotick fired her. Dude, we're establishing a little bit of a basis for Mr. Kotick behavior here. Flight attendant goes up to the owner and is like, "Hey, the captain was trying to, was sexually harassing me." And he's like, "You're fired, bitch. Have the decency to get raped in silence." It's just like, it almost seems like this dude attracts this type of energy. The defendants denied the allegations in a separate action related to legal fees in the case. An arbitrator citing what he said was sworn testimony wrote that Mr. Kotick told the flight attendant and her attorneys, "I'm going to destroy you." A spokesman for Mr. Kotick denied he said that. Considering the man threatened to kill someone earlier, "I'm going to destroy you," doesn't seem like that far of a reach. In 2008, they settled by paying the attendant $200,000, according to the arbitrator's decision. A spokesman for Mr. Kotick said he couldn't have fired her in retaliation for complaining because she never complained directly to him. In 2020, about 30 female employees who worked in Activision esports division wrote an email to their unit's leaders saying that female employees had been subject to unwanted touching, demeaning comments, exclusion from important meetings, and unsolicited comments on their appearance. Mr. Kotick was aware of the email, according to people familiar with the matter. Dude. Okay, listen, let me if it's a woman that you are not intimate with, you don't just go up to her and go like, "Damn, that's a nice set of tits." No, you can compliment her hair. You can compliment her eyes. You can say she is glowing. She's positively glowing today. She looks great. That is how you compliment a woman that you're not intimate with. You're going like, "Oh man, you have really nice eyes. Oh man, your hair looks really great. Oh man, you're really glowing today. Oh, that's nice." Or, "Oh, that dress is really good on you. Oh man, that's really cool. Oh, where'd you get those shoes?" It's like, look at all of these compliments that you can give to a woman without necessarily just going like, "Man, that's a nice ass. Woo! She's got an ass like an onion. Makes me want to cry." Is that how it goes? Is that how it goes? That's not... It's weird that I need to explain this to people. Okay. Activision spokeswoman said that after meetings with representatives of the group, the company took steps such as providing diversity and inclusion training to the esports leadership team. How about you just get rid of the people that, you know, sexually harass other people? Can we do that instead? Can we fire the people that don't know how to just be reasonable? No, we give them training. Yes, I'm sure. I'm sure that diversity and inclusion training is going to do them real well. No, listen. First you fire them, and then they can go get counseling. After they're fired. Once it's proven, of course. Former Blizzard Technology Chief Ben Kilgore faced multiple allegations of sexually harassing female staffers over the course of several years, according to people familiar with the matter. During company investigation, Mr. Kilgore lied about whether he had a relationship with a lower-level employee. Some of these people said he was fired in 2018 in a move approved by Mr. Kotick. Michael Morheim, the former head of Blizzard, sent an email to employees thanking Mr. Kilgore for his many contributions over the last 4.5 years. According to a copy of the email, some employees said they were taken aback by the praise, particularly given that they had been told not to discuss the circumstances of Mr. Kilgore's departure. In their 2020 letter, the female esports employees complained about the feeling of defeat when an abuser exits the company with positive public farewells. The Activision spokeswoman declined to comment on the Kilgore case. Mr. Kilgore didn't respond for requests for comment. The employee email Mr. Kotick drafted about California's lawsuit in July said it included factually incorrect and out-of-context stories. Mr. Kotick approves most internal company-wide emails as well as media responses according to the internal documents and people familiar with the matter. He directed the email to be sent to employees by Frances Townsend, a former Bush administrator. Yeah, we know who Townsend is. Joined Activision earlier this year and one of the company's few female senior executives. Activision employees criticized the statement, and Ms. Townsend on social media later organized a walkout. Ms. Townsend apologized for the statement at a company's women's groups she led, attended by hundreds of Activision employees. Some share their own stories of harassment and ask why Activision didn't care about them. According to a recording of the meeting, employees asked Ms. Townsend to resign as head of that group, documents show, which she did. Ms. Klasky, the Activision spokeswoman, said Mr. Kotick takes responsibility for the incident, regrets it. Ms. Townsend should not be blamed for this mistake. Mr. Kotick backtracked publicly, calling the earlier statement sent by Ms. Townsend tone deaf. We will do everything possible. Dude, at this point, Kotick will just say whatever the fuck he needs to. We'll do everything possible to make sure that together we improve and build on a kind of inclusive workplace that is essential to foster creativity and inspiration, said a new message to employees. He needs to fucking go. He just needs to fucking go. Like, I'm sorry. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Just get the fuck out. Just get the fuck out. Just fucking get the fuck out. Kotick needs to just get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Just leave. Just fucking leave. Just get the fuck out. There's no more. He needs to get the fuck out. This. It's done, dude. It's like I always say. I cover this because I'd like to eventually see things improve. I report on this because I think it's important, because I want to shine a light on all of the bad shit that is happening. But at what point there's just so much bad shit that there's no turning back? Like, at which point? At which fucking point, dude? When is enough enough? I would just like to eventually be able to enjoy Warcraft and Diablo. And maybe even StarCraft. Can because everybody thinks that it's like when people talk about this shit that that you guys you're just Blizzard haters, you just fucking. I get a lot of those comments. People thinking that I'm a Blizzard hater. Or you just fucking hate Blizzard, you just can't let it go. It's like, yeah, I can't let it go. The reason I can't let it go is because I like the IP that they created. I like World of Warcraft. I like Diablo. I'd like to like it again. Fucking hell. It's like, even Bobby getting fired, is that really going to make a change? Because, I mean, O'Neill was in a leadership position and she just saw that I'm not going to be able to impact meaningful change. Even like, if you think about it like this. Even after all the bullshit that happened at Blizzard, right? Like, just think about it like this. Even after all the bullshit that happened at Blizzard, they put Jen O'Neill and Mike Ibarra, and they pay Mike Ibarra more. The whole thing is because, like, I understand that some people might say, well, maybe he deserved more. Maybe there was this reason. Maybe that was that reason. Though, like, the main reason for there being a unified leadership is because there was clearly values that were just dog shit, that are dog shit at Blizzard. And therefore, that alliance of those two people was supposed to be like almost, in a way, I think I kind of looked at it as like the glue that could potentially bring change. And one of the most basic things they could have done is pay them the same wage. Fucking pay them the same. They're doing the same job. No, even there, they had to pay Mike Ibarra more.